सरस्वत्या सूतिर् अमृतलहरी कौशलहरी पिबन्त्या शर्वाणि श्रवणचुलुकाभ्याम् अविरलं चमत्कारश्लाघा चलितशिरसा कुण्डलगणो जनत्कारैस्तारैः प्रतिवचनमाचष्ट इव ते।
योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मोवाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं। यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे सद्गुरुं चन्द्रशेखरं। मातामहौ मातरं च पितरं च पितामहौ मातुलं च गुरूनन्यान् वन्देऽहं ज्ञानसिद्धये। Welcome to the devotees of Folsom Hindu Spiritual Center. We have been experiencing the birth and growth of Parvati, her Mahima, Jagadamba's Mahima, in this Punya Vasantha Navarathri, the holy 9 days, which also ends up with Rama being born, Ramanavami. Anyway, here we were seeing how Narada came to Himavan, the Himalaya Raja, and prophesied that his daughter Parvati would be wedding Lord Parameshwara himself, which gave a sense of satisfaction to Lord Himavan. So this Parvati, she also gets to know of this news and she is happy. She also wants the same thing to happen, so she is essentially very happy. Kalidasa continues, Yadeva purve janane shariram sadaksharo sudati sasarja tada prabhrityeva vimukta sangaha patih pashunam parigraho bhut. So previously we saw that Himavan could neither go to Shiva and offer his daughter's hand in marriage, nor could he just waiting and Parvati is of marriageable age already. So he does not know what to do. At this point, there is a comment on Lord Shiva. What is Lord Shiva up to currently? What is he doing? So since the time that in the previous Janma as Sati, since the time that Ambal gave up her body in the Yogagni in Daksha's sacrifice, since that time, Parameshwara has always been in Samadhi and Aparigraha, means he never wanted, there was no desire to get married at all. Because he knows Parvati's Janma is coming and she is taking another avatara and that is where he has to bury. So, Aparigraho Bhut Vimukta Sangaha, he is completely detached from everything and he is Aparigraha, he is sitting there in a state of meditation on Mount Kailasha. There, then Parvati is sent to serve Lord Parameshwara himself. So Himavan says, Kailasha is on the Himalayas itself. So Himavan says, you go serve Lord Shiva in his meditation. Every day you go clean the place around, give him flowers, make the surroundings conducive for meditation. So that is a service you will be providing to Lord Parameshwara. So what does she do? Tatrakrimadhaya samidham swameva murtyantaramashtamurtihi swayam vidhata tapasah phalanam kenapi kamena tapaschachara. So describing Shiva's tapas, Shiva's meditation, tatra agrimadhaya samidham. So Shiva himself was bringing all the samit, whatever is required, and he has created an agni over there. And in front of that he is sitting. Agrimadhaya samidham Swameva Murtyantaram Ashtamurtihi. Shiva is called Ashtamurti. In the Dakshinamurti Ashtaka, in the last shloka, we see Bhurambham Syanalo Nilom Paramahar Natho Himam Shufkuman Nitya Bhati Chara Charat Bhagabidam Yasiva Murtyashtakam. So Murtyashtakam says Adi Shankaracharya there. The same thing Kalidasa says here as Ashtamurti. So those 8 things together are made up of Parameshwara's form. So those 8 things, which is described that who, all the 5 elements, along with the sun, moon, and Atma is Ashtamurti. This Ashtamurti, Swameva Murtyantaram, that Agni in front of him that he has created, is a part of himself. It is just a reflection of Parameshwara himself. What is the need for him to create a sacrificial fire over there? But the same Agni which is within him, he has created over there. Swameva Murtyantaram, like an imitation, reflection of himself. Swayam Vidhata Tapasah Phalana. So if any person performs tapas, if any person is performing tapas, and he has to be granted boons, or he has to be granted the result of his penance, Parameshwara is the one who comes and blesses him in whatever form. So that kind of Parameshwara who grants boons for tapas, who is the goal for tapas of many people. Many people do penance to attain Parameshwara. That kind of Shiva, he himself is doing tapas. Kenapi kamena tapas chachara. Kenapi kamena, he says. You do not know what is the desire. What is there which is unattainable for him. He does not need to do penance to attain something. So, Kenapi kamena tapas chachara. He was just doing penance for the sake of doing penance. So now Parvati is sent to him. To whom? Anarghyam arghena tamadrinathaha swargo gasamarchitamarchayitva. Anarghyam means somebody who is invaluable. You cannot measure his value in terms of something. In terms of any other thing, his value cannot be measured. To do puja for him with arghya and padya. Arghya means the water that is given to the hands. Padya is the water that is given for washing the feet. So even the people, the divine devatas, they themselves are not able to go and do puja to this person. They are not able to value he is invaluable, he is immeasurable. To that kind of a Parameshwara, Adrinatha, the Himavan, sends his daughter to give Arghya and Padya. Anarghyam Arghena Aradhana Yasya Sakhi Sameta. Along with many of her friends, Parvati goes there. Samadhivesha Prayatam Tanujam. So he goes there to serve Shiva. Whenever, if you are meditating completely in solitude and suddenly somebody comes to serve, it kind of disturbs your penance. You have a particular routine. You know what you are doing. You have something to do at every point of the day. And somebody else comes and says, I want to serve you. And in this case, a beautiful maiden is coming to serve you. Then obviously there will be some kind of chanchalata. In your mind will start, there will be a lot of emotions that will be coming in the mind. So did that happen to Shiva? Beautifully Kalidasa puts that Pratyarthi bhutam apitam samadhehe shushrushamanam girisho numene. Girisha, that is Shiva, who he allowed them. He allowed them to do this kind of service. Pratyarthi bhutam api. Even though it was kind of a disturbance for his samadhi, for his meditation, even though this was a disturbance, he allowed them to do the shushrusha, this kind of a seva. Why did he allow this kind of a shushrusha? Because here, Kalidasa says, similarly as his wont, he is giving a beautiful line here. So Kalidasa's final lines in many shlokas, if you see, this is called the Arthantaranyasa Alankara. By Arthantaranyasa, we mean, in the first 3 or 2 lines of a shloka, there will be a specific example that is given. In this case, Parvati is coming and serving Lord Shiva. In the next last line or the last couple of lines, a general rule, a general guideline for the whole of society would be beautifully put in terms of words in this poem. So in this poem, he says that is called Arthantaranyasa. Vikara hetau sati vikriyante yesham na chetam sita eva dhiraha. Vikara hetau. Even though there is a cause for your mind to become disturbed, for your mind to have a lot of emotions, vikara hetau sati. Even though that cause is there, na vikriyante yesham chetamsi. Stable people's minds do not waver. They do not move away from what is their focus. That kind of focus Parameshwara has. So even though they are coming and serving him, even though there's a beautiful maiden who has come to do service to him, he will not waver from his concentration or meditation. Yesham na chetamsi, only they can be called as dhira. Very nice poet. If you get into Samskrita, if you understand the Samskrita, you see the simplicity of these shlokas as well as how esoteric they are, the kind of meaning that they convey, the kind of with the beauty, with the eloquence and the poetic components that are present there, which is unmatched. Vikara heto sati vikriyante yesham na chetam sita eva dhiraha. So that is the kind of tapas that Parameshwara is performing. So he is also performing tapas. After all, the next few sargas of Kumara Sambhava, we see how Kama is sent by Indra and then he is burnt by Shiva. We know Kama Dahana. Shiva opens his third eye and he burns Kamadeva, and then Rati, Kama's wife, that is Lord of Love's wife, Manmatha's wife, she weeps a lot for her husband. Then they are given a boon that when Shiva and Parvati get married, the time Kamadeva will reappear and he will be seen only to Rati, but he will be felt by everyone. So he shoots his arrows on everyone and everyone is struck by love, but he will be seen by the eyes only by Rati, his own wife. So that is the Ashirvada that is given to Kamadeva. So after all this happens, Shiva is still in that tapas. Kama has been burnt, but he is not moved from that meditation of his. We saw Tayeva Dhiraha. He is unfazed by whatever happens around. So Klamam. So Parvati also starts doing tapas. As we already saw, her mother tries to stop her, but she does not stop and she continues her own tapas. She goes, she says, just doing service to Lord, he does not seem to come out of tapas, and also this Kama Dahana has happened. Therefore, I will go and do my own penance to attain Lord Parameshwara. So she goes and Klamam yayo kandukali laya piya taya muninam charitam dyagahyata dhruvam vapuhu kanchana padma nirmitam mridu prakrutya cha sasarameva cha. Klamam yayo kandukali laya piya. So this body of hers, it has already been described how soft, how tender and how beautiful she was. Even if she went to play on the banks of Ganga with the ball, with her friends, if she went to play, even that used to make her very tired and it used to cause a lot of stress. Klamam yayo means it caused a lot of distress for that kind of soft and tender body which has been brought up in the comforts of the palace. That kind of a person, she chose to become Muninam Charitam Yagahyata. She accepted the route that great rishis take. Tapas, that is penance in the forest, is not an easy job. You are going to have to work a lot even for food, or just sitting there without food for many days, just on water and so on. So how was her body? Kalidasa says, I did say it was like a lotus, but it is not just tender like a lotus. It is Kanchana Padma Nirmitam. It is a golden lotus. So it has tenderness, it has that suppleness, it has the beauty of a lotus. At the same time, it is as strong as gold. If you see gold ornaments, they are not easy to break. Whether you hit them, you make them into wires, you make them into sheets, gold still is gold. It does not, nothing happens to it. You can show gold in fire, but it still is going to retain its glow. The Kanchana Padma Nirmitam. So Parvati is like a golden lotus. Therefore, she is not going to be faced by the distresses of the forest or penance. Mridu Prakritya cha, even though she is soft and tender, Sasaramevatat, it is as strong as some metal. Therefore, there is no problem with her doing this tapas. We see even in the first shloka of Shivananda Hari, beautifully Shankaracharya also says this, how each one is the fruit of each other's tapas. So Parvati is doing tapas to attain Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is also doing tapas to attain Parvati. Kalabhyam chudalankrita shashi kalabhyam nija tapah phalabhyam. So here, there he says, nija tapaha phalabhyam. Nija means their own. Each one's own tapas. They are the fruits of each other's tapas. Parvati's fruit of her penance is Lord Parameshwara. Parameshwara's fruit of penance is Lord Parvati herself. There in the summer, she has created 5 fires around her and she is doing penance in between that. In the winter, she goes into the cold waters of Ganges and there she is in tapas. So, and in the monsoon season, she is just under the open sky with rain falling on her. Such is the kind of intense tapas that she is doing. This is when she gets the name Aparna. Aparna means leaf. Parna means leaf. So Aparna means one who did not even eat leaf. During this tapas, she was just staying on water and air. That is how she just sustained herself. With such intense tapas, Parvati was praying to Lord Parameshwara to attain him as her husband. May we all get such bhakti towards Lord Parameshwara. And in the next session, we will see the divine union, divine marriage of Parameshwara and Parvati and how they become the Ardhanarishwara Murti. It is a single tattva which is just there in 2 forms. It's a single truth which is presented in 2 forms as feminine and masculine. For the sake of bhaktas, they take 2 forms to bless us more and more. Let us see that tomorrow. Yato mamatma bhavasi tvameva tato navacyam nama kinchidasti yatha taveshtam kurumam tathaiva tvamatmanatham ramanam bhajami.
मङ्गलचरणी मङ्गलवदनी मङ्गलदायिनि कामाक्षी गुरुगुहजननी गुरुकल्याणं कुञ्जरजननी कामाक्षी कष्टनिवारणि दुष्टविनाशिनि इष्टविदायिनि कामाक्षी गुरुगुहजननी गुरुकल्याणं कुञ्जरजननी कामाक्षी हिमगिरितनये मम हृदि निलये सज्जनसदये कामाक्षी गुरुगुहजननी गुरुकल्याणं कुञ्जरजननी कामाक्षी गृहनुतचरणे गृहसुत